Oh my god, I think I broke the chair. I accidentally found the most mind-blowing endgame theory on the Japanese internet. Also, you guys forced me to sing 𝚑𝚒𝚎 on camera to celebrate 100,000 subscribers. All of this and more upcoming in this video. Whew, okay, let's do this. What's up everybody, 𝚑𝚑𝚎 here, and today is a good day, because today I have not just one, but two real goodies for you, and I personally definitely know which one I'm more excited about. Nope, not that part. You'll get to witness me questioning my life choices in real time if you make it till the end of this video. The bad news for me is you will, cause it's a damn fucking good video. Now, I'll summarize how we got here as quickly as possible so we can get to the juicy bits. Let's put 30 seconds on the clock. We reached 100,000 subscribers. Still can't believe that that happened. I asked you guys to come up with a video idea to celebrate. You guys picked singing 𝚑𝚒𝚎 over eating bread? Why? Then I thought to myself, instead of torturing you guys right from the start, why not talk a little bit about the song itself for a bit? I think there might be a thing or two in there that might be interesting. So I looked it up. And what I stumbled upon blew my goddamn mind. Was that 30 seconds? Damn it. Don't forget to subscribe. Okay, let's cut to the chase. The premise of this theory is from a Japanese One Piece fan who goes by the name of 𝚑𝚑𝚎, mixed in with my own ideas and other random stuff I found on the interwebs. That guy, or girl, went through the original Japanese lyrics of the song and gave his interpretation for each important line. Now, without giving too much of the mind blow that I definitely had away, the basic idea is that this song talks about the final island of the Grand Line, 𝚑𝚑𝚎. Oh, if that's just too far-fetched, I'm gonna go watch something else. Wait, before you click away already, let me also spoil the last line of the song. In the English translation, it goes, never ending, ever wandering, our funny traveling tale. That already sounds a little bit like 𝚑𝚑𝚎, but in the Japanese original, it's actually way more in your face. The word that Oda uses, 𝚕𝚑𝚘𝚎, literally means a laugh tale. Literally. Like, that's so straightforward that it actually makes me wonder whether Oda just put that into 2003 Google Translate and then got 𝚑𝚑𝚎 as a result and just, you know, went with it. Seems about right. After all, Oda put a ridiculous amount of thought into this and had the song already done many years before we actually reached Thriller Bark, while the island itself is first mentioned as far back as chapter 105. I hope that this convinces you that this song is not only a good chance to humiliate a poor YouTuber, but also carries a deeper meaning, hinting at the climax of the story. Okay, let's start with the very first line of the song. Let's go and deliver 𝚑𝚑𝚎. This already brings up two important questions. Who the f is Binks, and what is his sake? Well, according to 𝚑𝚑𝚎, as the song is pretty old, Binks is probably someone who's already dead. Top candidates is whoever wrote that song, so Joy Boy, the D-Clan, the Kozuki, or all of them. And since sake has a pretty strong symbolism in Japan and is often associated with one's life story, Binks' sake might actually be delivering his story. Now this story, so the theory, is the true story of the world, which is engraved in the poneglyphs. There are 4 road poneglyphs leading to 𝚑𝚑𝚎, but more interestingly, there are 9 historical ones that contain the lost history. According to this, delivering Binks' sake then means nothing but finding all 9 historical poneglyphs, stringing them together, and bringing the full story with you to 𝚑𝚑𝚎. And speaking of Robin, when Brooke plays this song for the first time for the Straw Hats, Robin mentions that she has heard it somewhere before. On a pirate ship she traveled on, maybe? Only the word she uses in Japanese is natsukashi, an adjective that can't really be translated literally, but expresses fond memories of a time long past. Now, I think the only time Robin has genuinely warm memories of is her time with the scholars. And if she heard the song in connection with the research of the poneglyphs and the ancient kingdom, wouldn't that make perfect sense? Now, the second interesting part of the first verse is this. The birds sing as they draw circles in the sky. Circles? Birds? Yup. This might very well be a reference to the Kozuki themselves, the creators of the poneglyphs. The bird in front of a circle that might very well depict the sun, as well as 4 arms that remind us of the classical Jolly Roger. Keep that in mind. We'll get back to that in a second. Now, the last interesting line from the first verse is this. Tsumugi no sato yo. Tsumugi no sato is the village of spinning. The village where what exactly was spun? Well, why not the story that is engraved in the poneglyphs? This would mean that the village talked about in this old song would be no other place than Wano itself, where we are right now. The place where the poneglyphs were crafted all the way back during the White Century. Are you warmed up already? Good. Then let's go to verse 2, cause we're just getting started. Yo-ho-ho, yo-ho-ho. After introducing Binks, the Kozuki and their story in the first verse, the second one seems to describe some of the history we just talked about. We start with this. Warira kaizoku umi wa teku. This is translated as we are pirates sailing through the sea. This, however, is too liberal. Wateku doesn't mean sail, but means to cut or to divide. Thus the line actually says, we are pirates parting the sea. Now yes, this could of course just mean cutting through the waves with the ship, but what if this was actually way more literal? Remember the Kozuki crest? Well, what if the pirates did indeed cut the sea? Let's say in 4 parts, using a giant continent and a dangerous current. And could the X be the literal location of 𝚑𝚘𝚎? The backside of Reverse Mountain, that technically is the end of the Grand Line. Now the song continues with this. Now comes a storm through the far-off sky. It seems that this seems to be a reference to war, the storm brewing being a metaphor for conflict. Thus, this line might tell us about a war in the past or in the future related to the islands.
あの宝を誰かが見つけたとき、世界はひっくり返るのさ。
The verse then ends with, if you lose your nerves, this breath could be your last, but if you just hold on, the morning sun will rise. This seems to refer to the dangers associated with 𝚑𝚘𝚎. It tells us that people have failed before and died trying. But even though people failed, the morning sun will rise. The morning sun, in other words, the dawn. Thus, the person who will bring the dawn will one day appear after many others have failed. This, my dear viewers, is nothing else but inherited will. Yo-ho-ho, yo-ho-ho. And speaking of leading themes in the story, the third verse starts talking about the dreams of today and tomorrow. Once again, this is inherited will and passing on dreams to another. In this case, it specifically means the dream of those who originally wrote that song. It continues, 𝚑𝚑𝚎 ni mo aenai yo. Now once again, I think that the English translation kind of misses out here. The line literally translates not to waving our goodbyes, we'll never meet again, but to this. Even though I will never meet the waving shadow. This seems to refer to someone living in the present. Only the living can cast shadows. And so it directly addresses the one who has inherited their dream in that moment in time. But don't look so down, for tomorrow night the moon will also rise. The moon. I actually made an entire video about its meaning and its connection to the past some time ago. So if you're interested in that, I'll link that video for you up here. Apart from its heavy symbolism, what it actually reminds me of is Your Name. In case you haven't seen the movie, watch it. It's absolutely fantastic. But if you don't want to get spoiled, skip like 20 seconds ahead here for a moment. In the story, at dusk, when the moon comes up, it's possible for 2 worlds to touch. So that might already be a hint that 𝚑𝚘𝚎 is only accessible during a certain time period at dusk and again at dawn. Now, the song ends with this. Doesn't matter who you are, someday you'll just be bones. Never ending, ever wondering, our funny traveling tale. Now, what this line obviously says is that everyone will have to die someday. And then the song ends by literally name-dropping 𝚑𝚘𝚎, the never-ending, ever-wandering islands. So what's the big payoff of this video here? Hold tight. 𝚑𝚘𝚎 is the island of the dead. This is where people go in One Piece. How do we know? Brook. Thanks to his fruit, he was able to return from the land of the dead. He's the one that first plays the song. The first crew member that Luffy wants is a musician. Brook introduces us to the concept of souls and soul power. His clash with Big Mom is all about the soul. But wait, there's more. Remember Rayleigh saying that they were too early when they reached 𝚑𝚤?
君たちの船で一歩ずつ進みなさい。我々もまた、大原もまた。
Well, the simple answer to this might be they weren't dead yet. Roger also told his first mate that he would never really die, and gladly handed himself in to be executed. The D don't fear death and greet it with a smile. They are somehow connected to the land of the dead. And is it really a coincidence that they were singing the song on Roger's ship when they traveled to 𝚑𝚤 in chapter 967? And I also want you to take a look at this panel here of Yasuie at his execution. The last thing he says is this: I will now make my way to the other world. Let's sing all together. Why would you sing when you're about to die? Was Yasuie about to sing Bink Sake? In other words, is it possible that 𝚑𝚤 is actually so difficult to reach because it means... That's what it means. Because it means entering the realm of the dead? An island that only appears at dusk and that you only have one chance of entering and one chance of leaving as a living person. This exact concept is actually quite popular in pirate law. It's called Davy Jones's Locker, the place where the souls of sailors go after they die. A concept, for example, also used in the third Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Are the Straw Hats going to travel into the Yomi, into the underworld? Let's wait and see. Now, however, the main attraction of this video. This minor theory was just a warm-up. Now I go sing this epic song that tells us of the Void Century and the road to 𝚑𝚤. Well, you have time to hit that subscribe button and lean back. You asked for it, you're getting it. Here is Ohara with Bink Sake. Okay, let's do this. Yo ho 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 yo ho.ビンスの酒を届けに行くよ。海風、気ま風、波任せ。潮の向こうで夕日も騒ぐ。そりゃ縄をかく鳥の歌。さよなら港、紬の里よ。どんと一応歌おう、船出の歌。金パ銀パもしぶきに変えて、俺ちゃ行くぞ海の限り。酒を届けに行くよ。海風、気ま風、波任せ。潮の向こうで夕日も騒ぐ。俺に泡をかく鳥の歌。